Hello and welcome to another beer review here from the Czech Republic. Thank you for joining. This evening I'm going to talk about a beer that, again, probably most of you know, or at least you heard about the brewery in some way. You read about them, or maybe you saw their logo or whatever, because it is, one of the most popular breweries from the Czech Republic in terms of people knowing them, and kind of a brewery that is really widely known not only in the country but really across the world, and it's the Staropramen brewery. This evening I'm going to have their Staropramen Legendarni Smichov, which is basically translated into legendary Smichov, with Smichov being the part of Prague where the brewery is situated. Now the Legendarni Smichov is their 10 degrees pale draft beer with 4% alcohol content. So I'm really looking mainly for a refreshment rather than anything else. Because with pale draft beers, my expectation is really more to serve as a refreshment rather than to give me that great beer experience. Staropramen, obviously they have a number of different beers. They have the 11 degrees lager, they have the 12 degrees lager, they have the extra schmelner, they have the granat, they have the dark beer as well. So a big range, but most likely, for those of you who are watching from outside the Czech Republic, you will probably know this, the green can, as well as the 12 degree pale lager, which is called Exportní Ležák. And I think key here really is Exportní Ležák, because they do export that quite a lot. Although it is brewed, you just never know with Staropramen where it is brewed exactly. Obviously we get the ones that are brewed in the Czech Republic, but then if you're based in the UK, for example, you may drink a Staropramen that was actually brewed in the UK itself, in Burton-on-Trent. But sometimes you can also get a Staropramen that was brewed in Poland, or I believe in Bulgaria they have a brewing site as well. So they have different sites. So when you get a can, maybe check where it's from, to see whether or not it is indeed from Prague, or maybe from one of their different brewing locations. Now, I've already mentioned 4% alcohol content, so a very light beer, that is probably suitable to go along with a very light meal, like a salad or, a sandwich, or as a kind of refreshment, during the day, as it won't do too much damage because of the low alcohol content. So let's give this a go. Today I'm using my Staropramen glass, and what I really like about this glass is that the writing is actually on both sides. I'm not sure if you can see it. It has it here as well as here, which is not something that you would regularly get on a beer glass. It's usually just one side, as well as it has the Staropramen, I'm not sure if you can see it, the Staropramen logo at the bottom as well. So really nice glass, I really like it. So yeah, let's give this guy a go. Yeah, there's a slight hoppy aroma coming from it, but very, very light. It's not something that really stands out. It's a light hop aroma, not too much. Let's see about the look and feel of this. That's not too bad. This time it's got a lighter kind of golden color, not as dark as some of the beers that I have previously reviewed, but it's got a nice foamy head on top. So that it looks very promising, exactly what I would hope for in a Czech beer. So a very nice first impression, definitely. So let's give this a go. Na zdraví. Yeah, it's It's okay. Um, I have to be honest. I'm not mind blown. It's got a very easy drinkability. It's got that refreshing touch to it. Um, but I think that's kind of it. There wasn't an element here really that stood out for me. I didn't get any maltiness, any hoppiness from it. There wasn't. There was very very slight. I mean, I really had to kind of look for it, to taste it or to feel it. But there was this very slight hop bitterness, maybe. I'm not even sure now. I have to give this another go. A very slight hop note that I would say, at the end, coming through, but nothing overwhelming. So it's an okay beer to drink. And I think this is what I usually say about these kind of pale draft beers. They don't usually stand out for me. I'm just missing the edge a little bit on the beer when I compare it to the large variety of Czech beers. I often stay away from these 10-degree beers because they're not really giving me that edge. Having said that, that's only my taste. That's my personal taste. Beer, just like food, everybody has a different taste. So, some people may really like this, and others may think it is okay, but, I'm not really getting anything special from it, and that's the case for me. But having said that, I do know a lot of people like this. So, I could be completely wrong. It could just be really a great beer. And just my own personal taste doesn't agree with it. So, I think everybody makes up their own mind about beers. My personal opinion is that it is a drinkable beer. It's a beer that I really see myself having on a very hot summer day, for example, when I just really want a refreshment and literally nothing else, while still having that little bit of beer taste, that little bit of beer experience. This is when I would probably go for this. But because the selection of beers is so big in the Czech Republic, there's so many different varieties, so many different types and breweries and whatnot, that I would probably pass on this one and give another beer a go rather than getting this one. That said, I'm in the Czech Republic, and therefore I do have access to all of these beers. If you live in a country where Czech beer may not be available, or you just get usual suspects like Pilsner, Urquell, and Budvar, and having Staropramen there as an option as well, I think it is a good option to have. If the selection of Czech beers in your country is not as big as it is here, obviously. So then I think it is a good option to have available. And I know in some countries they serve it on tap as well in some of the bars and pubs and restaurants. So not a bad option to have. I think it's good to have it available. It doesn't necessarily meet my taste in terms of actual beer experience, what I'm looking for, that crispiness, that hop bitterness coming through, and so on and so forth. But again, as a refreshment on a hot summer day, I think this really will do the job, and it's absolutely drinkable. And I think that's also important. Sometimes you have beers that are just making you feel bloaty, or they're very difficult to drink. When I say difficult, I mean they're very kind of heavy. This one is not. It's very easy to drink, and therefore as a refreshment on a hot summer day, with a light meal, absolutely perfect. But again, my preference would be probably something else than this. If you have had this before, let me know in the comments. If you will have this in the future, come back to this video and let me know in the comments what you thought and what your feedback is. Any criticism about my videos is also welcome. If you have any questions about the Czech Republic, do ask. Subscribe to my channel for more video reviews here from the Czech Republic, and I hope to see you in the next video again. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.